Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna make this quick. This is Shadowlands, and this is the perfect visual for what Shadowlands really is. Um, I need to stress this for a second, okay? As I think I showed, once BFA found itself, and once you ignored certain aspects of the main plot, BFA was actually pretty damn good. There was a lot of really, really good stuff, especially once they got past the HVA thing. And 8.3 was honestly very legit. Cool. So, the problem there is there's a concept called poisoning the well. Now, for the purposes of a review, one really, really, really bad thing generally doesn't taint all the other things in a review. Not unless it does so at an extreme level, which, honestly, I actually haven't seen in a game. I've only seen that in a show. But it's really easy to understand why BFA was too much for a lot of people. Some people played only the launch content and didn't pay the patch content. Some people just kind of pushed out of it. Some raid guild teams just kind of broke apart because some people weren't interested. There were several issues with regards to what they did at the launch. Remember, there was the global cooldown change and the off-global cooldown change, both of which really screwed with the higher end of difficulties. There was a lot of which just shoved a large amount of people out of the game. Very understandably. I include myself in that. But then, Shadowlands came out. Now, here's the thing. Nobody was really expecting Shadowlands to be the next expansion until they announced it. It was just kind of out of nowhere. A lot of people were seeing where we're going with the old gods, and obviously, the whole fight against N'Zoth. And then it's like, okay, now we go deal with the afterlives? What? And it was very, very strange. And Shadowlands, well, let's just say that while BFA had some troubled development, it's worth noting that Shadowlands, which if you remember was being underdeveloped during about 8.1, because that's how production lines work. So this was during the lockdowns. This was during COVID is when this came out. And so they were dealing with the beginnings of COVID during the end of production for this, on top of all of the other crap that they were dealing with in the office at the time. Lots of people getting fired, lots of through lines being messed with. It was more or less literally fire and chaos in the offices right now. And I'm not trying to say that to try and dismiss how awful Shadowlands is, but rather to try and explain it. To be clear, I think Shadowlands was a bad idea from the word go. I think that it would take substantial restructuring in order to make it work. However, I will also say that I think the reason Shadowlands is as bad as it is because they had an idea I don't think would have worked, and then everything went wrong with it. So, here we are. Now, I'm just going to give you one little tidbit, because there's something referred to as the Shadowlands dip. It was a colossal loss of player base in WoW. It was something we theorized about for quite some time, and then as recently as I believe it was last year was finally codified. We actually have numbers proving that the Shadowland dip was a real phenomenon. Because the Shadowland dip was a huge exodus of WoW players. Biggest they've ever had. And by every account, this should have been the end of WoW. Like, WoW should have died during Shadowlands. The only thing that saved it, and this is not hyperbole, is the fact that WoW Classic was really going strong at this point. And there was a huge shift over to WoW Classic, and that is why WoW continued to survive. Guild Wars 2 had a huge influx of new players, so much so that Guild Wars 2, not everyone's aware of this, Guild Wars 2 was on the axe, on the cutting block. It was going to be axed, and they were going to pull the plug, and so a lot of the developers were really rushing. If you ever wonder why the last few patches leading up to the End of Dragons expansion kind of suck, that's why. They were pretty much just smashing whatever they could out the door while they were still being, had a job, while the game was still actively being developed. And then the Shadowlands dip happened, and a fairly large number of players went to other MMOs. Now, this is kind of funny, because those players saved Guild Wars 2, large influx of players, which revitalized the player base, which made sure to get the End of Dragons thing greenlit, which allowed for them to push it onto Steam, which allowed for another boost in players. And Guild Wars 2 is doing fine now. So thanks for that, WoW. FF14 is a weird one, because FF14 got a huge flood, and I mean a huge flood of new players, and then most of them left. FF14's retention on players was not very high. I have my own thoughts about why that is, but the bottom line is that FF14, unfortunately otherwise, did not actually benefit from that to the same extent as, say, Guild Wars 2 did. And I'm not sure of the other MMOs, because most other MMOs are sufficiently small as to barely be on the radar. But that was the Shadowlands dip. This is one of only 2 times I have quit WoW. Honestly, this is the only real time I quit WoW. The only time I walked away from the game with no expectation of ever coming back. As I've said, just to say this story very, very clearly, the way that this lined up for me was me and... Yeah, almost quit today. Me and Pax went into Shadowlands, started Shadowlands, got to a certain point in the MSQ, and then hit a certain scene, and I'll even point it out when we get there. And it was just like, this is stupid. Like, we struggled through the first raid. I say struggled, it was actually a good raid. But, like, that was kind of the final hurrah. It was just like, ugh. And then we quit. Years later, I'm not sure the exact timeline, but years later, we eventually came back during Dragonflight. Started playing through Dragonflight, because you can skip expansions in a while. And we're having a sufficiently amount of fun, and enjoyment that Pax, one night when we were chatting, was just like, hey, why don't we go back and finish Shadowlands? I was like, okay. We went back, pushed through the only real Covenant which we had started, which was Ardenweald. And then actually did all the patch content and the MSQ for that, and just raced through that. Didn't enjoy any of it, by the way. And then saw the final cutscene, rolled my eyes, and then went right back to Dragonflight. So that's my personal experience with Shadowlands. But, you know, there's one other thing. I've been paying very, very careful attention to BFA as we were going through it. And one of the biggest things I was paying attention was foreshadowing. Now, if you remember, I think it was 8.1, we saw a patch where they actually showed, it was the Blood Elf Heritage, I'm almost positive, and they showed the Maldraxian spell effect on the Sunwell when we were going through the memory of it from back in Warcraft 3. You remember that? And I noticed that because WoW's always been very big on those kind of visual indicators and visual cues and color theming, right? That was very clearly Maldraxian. In other words, the new graphic effect for the Energy of Death. Okay, that's good. That shows exactly when they were working on Shadowlands, and that kind of leads into where Shadowlands would go. We also saw a tiny bit of foreshadowing in the Tauren Heritage quest, and a couple of other little things here and there. However, before we go any further, I have to actually give a negative. Because there was a cutscene, a very, 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 very good cutscene. The best cutscene in the game. And then immediately after that, Thalyssra and Jaina talked about how they couldn't sense the power that was empowering Sylvanas, even as they saw it happening in front of them. So it's like magic that was invisible to them. How strange. Here's the problem. There's only 2 things that magic could be. Death magic or domination magic. We know what death magic is. We know what death magic looks like. They are extremely familiar with death magic. I mean, Thalyssra might not be, but Jaina's kind of been around the bend on that one. So that can't be it, which means it must be domination magic. Except domination magic doesn't operate that way, doesn't look that way, and, once again, Jaina would be familiar with that. So, huh? And the Sylvanas empowerment arc is just one of many, 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 many problems with Shadowlands, because this is the biggest problem with Shadowlands by far, in my opinion. The inconsistency. WoW has never exactly been super good about its consistency, to be honest with you. But there's always been a through line. Going as far back as BC, you could find a thread, right? What was the main plot of BC? Someone tell me in chat right now. Everyone in chat's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, God, panic. 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 Stopping Illidan. Nope. Continuation of vanilla. Nope. Stopping the Legion. Nope. No, there was very clearly a main plot of BC. Got the most screen time and had the most internal continuity and connection. Blood Elves. There it is. Lord Harriman got it. It's the Blood Elf. The Draenei Zone, starter zones, and the Blood Elf starter zones both had to do with the Blood Elves and their plight. Then you go to Outland, and one of the only major plot threads going through several zones is the Blood Elves. Their pilgrimage up to Netherstorm, the betrayal of Kael'thas and his people, the eventual destruction and then re-establishment of the Sunwell during the Sunwell raid, yada yada yada. The Blood Elves were the main plot of BC. It was kind of vague, I'm not going to lie to you. But the point I'm trying to get across is that there was still a through line of consistency, even as far back as BC. But Shadowlands broke that. Shadowlands just did whatever the hell it wanted to, and had no internal consistency to speak of. There's a major plot thread in Shadowlands that if you are dead, and then you die in the Shadowlands, you're permanently destroyed, just like an elemental or a demon. And yet, they will ignore that whenever the plot demands it. Just because. It's beaming through the shields in Star Trek. It's supposed to be a big deal. Being able to beam through the shields should be a major thing. It is a plot element several times. And then occasionally you could just do it because they feel like it. That level of inconsistency is something... Yeah, that level... That's a good way to put that, Grove. That lack of internal logic is something I personally feel most players noticed, whether they noticed or not. You know what I mean? There was so much because plot. There was so much just whatever is needed for the scene at hand that I think even people who are not analyzing the work, who are not literarily trained or are not analysts by trade, could look at Shadowlands and say, well, hold on. Hold on. Hang on. Valerian desperately doesn't want me to get to this. Doing everything in their power here. Come on, load. Please. There we go. Dragon Quest 4, Dragon Quest 5, Dragon Quest 6, and thank you. Oh, absolutely, Grey Wolf. Always appreciate you, Larian. Thank you. For real. I quit it. But hear me out for a second to finish my thought. How many of you noticed the black papers, noticed the first time when you were watching TNG, you noticed the black papers? If you don't even know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. In other words, it would not, Valerian. In other words, that's the kind of stuff that, you know, people who are really diving deep can notice when it comes to a work. So yeah, most people don't notice that. That's fine. Most people don't notice when a phaser beam comes out of a torpedo tube. That's fine. It's a little goof. It's not a big issue. But the more internal problems you have, the greater the lack of internal logic, what you do is you increase the amount of people who notice it. You increase the amount of people who register those little goofs, those little problems, those little nits. And when you get to the point where it's just this critical mass thing and everyone watching is like, this makes no sense at all, that's when you have a problem. Speaking of... I will admit seeing the Citadel in full CGI was nice.
Ice Crown. A monument to our suffering. The veil between life and death. Where a usurper sits on a frozen throne. But no king rules forever.
That's a great shot. Hello, Bolvar. I love Bolvar's weapon. It is so appropriate for a warrior. Look at that thing. So they could show us this fight, but no. I will give you this, the sound design is perfect.
Unfit to wear this crown. To wield so much power.
That power will be your prison.
This world is a prison.
And I will give you this. Of all the things I expected, this was not one of them. Yeah.
And I will set us all free.
So that's honestly not a terrible cutscene in terms of the execution side of things. Bolvar being a much bigger, slower, heavier fighter than Arthas was makes perfect sense. Death Knight Arthas was a death machine, no pun intended, and then he gained the crown. The second Lich King is still one of the highest tier things we've seen in the setting. Bolvar's a dude who put on the crown as a sacrifice. He has very little combat experience by comparison. And he doesn't have full control over the helm because he is constantly exerting his will against the helm. So it makes perfect sense that he has a little bit more issues with it. I'm with that. I don't like the fact that they decided not to show off the army fighting, but whatever. I'll move past that. The problem then is that he just gets completely bodied by Sylvanas. She toys with him. Full on. There's even this scene where she's doing this, and she's just like, come on. And she's got that little sing-song taunting face going, you know the type. She's just playing with him. Even I don't think that empowered Sylvanas should have that easy of a fight with the third Lich King. That's problem number one. Problem number two is actually kind of more interesting. Remove your knowledge of Shadowlands for a second. Her taking the crown and shattering it and breaking the sky is a great shocking moment. And it perfectly leads into her being the villain of Shadowlands. Now, if you know anything about Shadowlands, you know she isn't. The jailer is. Where's the jailer? You're starting to see where this is something I've been talking about for some time, and the more evidence I see, the more I think I actually am correct. And the jailer was very roughly shoved into the narrative. Remember, these CGI cutscenes are done well in advance, so the styles and design for this was probably done before BFA even came out. They probably had most of the storyboarding done and were working on the CGI and the animation style of this as BFA was launching. There's a decent chance the jailer barely existed, if existed at all, when they were making this cutscene. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. This world is a prison, and I will set us all free. This is actually consistent with her character. Yeah, there's the cruelty, of course, but there's also that never-ending frustration and bitterness and rage at everything. Right? We even saw that in her Warbringer cinematic. We even saw that in the finale of Old Soldier. Yeah, she has always been anti-control. So her wanting to just kind of wreck the system because of how much she is completely pissed about everything. Yeah, I'm actually completely with that. And without concepts, all we see is a shattered sky and an inverse of Icecrown Citadel up there in the sky. I bet you money they hadn't even invented what Torghast was when they did that. Now, I don't have as much evidence of this, but hear me out for a second. We know that the Banished One was still lead designer when this cutscene was written. We also know that he's really big on those big shocking moments, right? Like that's his writing style, not regardless of recent stuff. Just big old shocking thing, right? So the sky, her holding up the helmet and you notice the animation. They love to do this. They love to do callbacks to their animation. She clearly pulled up the helmet just like Death Knight Arthas did back in Frozen Throne, back in Warcraft 3. So clearly, I'm about to put the helmet on, and then she shatters it. Sky shatters, inverse of Icecrown. All of that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it looked so much. There you go, Huthor. Even more relevant. All of this indicates exactly what I'm saying. Big, shocking moment and reveal of, oh my god, there's the Shadowlands, and the veil between life and death is broken. But it probably wasn't really Torghast yet, if that makes any kind of sense. Because we know what Torghast is now, and frankly, it barely has anything to do with that. And I really do mean barely. In fact, if you know the overall story, no hazardous time now. You know that the relevance of Icecrown Citadel is specifically to to the place I can't even think of the name of in Zereth Mortis, not Torghast. Yeah, a reflected ice crown. Everything we've learned about the Shadowlands, and remember, the Shadowlands have been around since vanilla. Everything we know about the Shadowlands, the concept, not the expansion, is that it's a subplane, right? Like it's a connected dimension. In fact, the idea of it being an inverse of our world, the dark mirror of our world, makes perfect sense based on how we've seen. We have actually walked around the Shadowlands in WoW. There are quests that have taken us through the Shadowlands in WoW. Yeah, exactly, Kara White knows. Yeah, the anti-Emerald Dream. Bingo. So she shatters the crown. We look up. We see the Ice Crown Citadel right there. Okay, that's cool. I'm with all of that. And you start to see the problem of that inconsistency thing. So, like it or not, that cutscene does get some pauses. I'll figure out how many pauses later, because I'm kind of in a rush right now. So I'll just put down cutscene right now, and we'll come back to that. But now, someone pick a race. Non-allied race. Has to be non-allied. Cue me. Alright. Oh, god damn it. I probably updated it when I was offline. Hang on. The internet just ruined my morning. Okay. So, Exile's Reach came out for Shadowlands.
You are a soldier of the Noble Alliance, a coalition of kingdoms upholding the ideals of valor and justice across Azeroth. An Alliance expedition sent to explore an uncharted island has recently gone missing. As a bold new recruit, you have joined a rescue mission departing from Stormwind. Find the lost expedition members and bring them home.
Yeah, no, this is Metzen, not Varian. Just Metzen. So, hang on, before we do anything else, on Blade Tomorrow, we're going to turn off all Atom, just everything. There we go. Okay, so, the reason I picked Blade Jump off of this, other than just amusement factor, is this is designed for someone who's never played WoW before, or an MMO. And in some cases, has never played a video game before.
Recruit, step forward. We're approaching the island.
So this is a very, very, very tutorial. So you see the hand. This is actually reasonably well designed for a no really hold your hand tutorial. WASD is highlighted. Your spacebar is highlighted. It gives you the ghost of your left hand and the ghost of your right hand on how you can move. See? This is how you look around. This is how you walk around. This is how you talk to someone. Now, I've heard a lot of people dislike this tutorial, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge. But I'm actually kind of with this as an option. The biggest problem here is that, to my understanding, if you make a brand new account from nothing, you're kind of forced into this, and that sucks. Because this is here for people who have never played, like, a video game before, right? And I'm with that. I'm with that being an option. I'm with WoW being this accessible to new players. After all, I know several people who don't play video games except for WoW. It's the Skyrim effect, right? Skyrim is extremely accessible for basically the same reason. So, talk to...
We'll find that missing expedition.
Prepare yourself, Blade Cheval. Both of you. We're nearing the island where the previous expedition was lost. Warm up on these combat dummies. We need everyone ready for whatever we find on that island. And notice it highlights the accept button to draw your attention to it.
Keep your guard up. I need everyone in top form if we're to complete this mission. Show me what you can do.
So, right-click to attack. Drag some of this crap off my bar. There we go. Rage is being generated and attacked. Once you have enough, press 1 to use slam again. So yeah, here's what your buttons are. Here's what your resources are. It changes depending on what class you are.
Good. Next? That's odd. We weren't expecting rain.
Here's your quest complete. It says ready for turn-in, and it says you can return to the quest giver, which of course is right there. Yeah, they actually... what I'm trying to say is that I'm probably going to be pretty positive on this tutorial as a tutorial. Because it is a pretty tutorial-y tutorial. It is also, for the most part, optional. If this was mandatory every time you started it, that would really suck. But yes, for those of you who didn't catch that, I'm pretty sure that's Ashley. Mass Effect Ashley. I could be wrong, though.
The Alliance leaves no one behind.
Good. Looks like you kept your warrior training during our voyage. I'm concerned about the sudden turn in the weather. Spar with Private Cole while I speak with the crew. Cole's report to determine where we place you on an initial expedition key.
Don't leave your post on it. Private Cole will run you through the rest of the
experience.
drills. I need to discuss this storm with the helmsman.
I mean, it sounds a lot like her, but, you know, I've been wrong about that before. Open your spellbook to find charge. Here's how you can... Like, you see all these custom animations? Several of you associate this with... yeah, I know, thank you. With BFA, and I'll tell you why. It's because when this came out, it sucked. Hang on, hear me out for a second. Even though I just said I'm pretty positive about this, and I am, the fact of the matter is, what used to happen is you'd do this, and then you'd be dumped into BFA. And if you didn't want to do BFA, you had to, like, twist around in order to not do BFA. And if you were a brand new character, you had no choice but to do BFA. I mean, brand new account, excuse me, not brand new character. I had to give really weird asterisky instructions to players who were picking up WoW during this particular era to get them to avoid doing BFA. Nowadays, it dumps you into Dragonflight, which works much better. But, yeah, when this came out, this kind of sucked. Oh yeah, you can't edit mode. It's completely gone. I don't mind that, to be honest with you. I'm fine with that. I have no problem there.
Private Cole, reporting for duty.
I hope this rain isn't a bad omen. This is supposed to be a simple rescue mission. You'll be sparring with me today. We have to make sure you can handle yourself once we make landfall. Let's see what you got.
We'll get stronger together. Let's move into sparring positions. I'll let you have the first strike. I bet we'll save the expedition in no time. Never run from your opponent. Stand your ground and fight until... Remember to always face your enemy.
Like, don't mistake me. I don't like the lack of an edit mode. I'm not saying it's great. I don't think I'm gonna ding it for it.
I yield. Well, I'd say you're more than ready for whatever we find on that island.
Like, this is a pretty hand-holdy tutorial. Again, this is for people who have never played this game before. Or games before. Edit mode. It's literally called edit mode. It's right below my add-ons button there. It's how you move... It's the same thing as FF14. In fact, it's pretty recent because it came out after this tutorial existed. It allows you to, just like in FF14, move around and change the size of all the elements of your HUD if you have no add-ons.
I'm here to help however I can.
You're a skilled warrior. I think you'll prove a welcome addition to the main team, rescue team. Oh god, stutter, stutter, stutter.
Keep up the good fight.
That's it for warming up. You and the other new recruits are a promising bunch, I'll tell you that much. Hold on, what's that sound? I think something big is heading our way.
Captain, we can't weather this storm for long.
Everyone below decks, now!
Uh-oh. I think you're right, Yura. By the way, very, very, very minor tidbit. Do you notice that that's Captain Garrick? You probably don't know or care about who that is, Unless you've done follower dungeons.
We have a mission to accomplish.
The ship may not make it to the island. Hold on to something sturdy and stick with your fellow recruits. We'll get through this.
Stay focused and sharp.
Oh, they're dead. Well, that's the second Punicorp. Yeah, no, their cutscene team... Blizzard has a good art team. That extends to their cinematic team.
Are you injured?
I don't have much to add to that. I mean, just really take that shot in for a second. Yeah, that's a good skybox. It also shows the storm surrounding us in the distance. And that is a lot of detail for what is supposed to be just, you know, shore. It's just a shoreline. But look at that detailing for a second. Really take that in. Someone put a lot of time and effort into this, and I'll give them credit on that front. Speaking of which... Yeah, there's even water puddles from where the water has splooshed in from the recent storm. Debris, displaced shells, a whole bunch of very clearly supposed to be underwater foliage. Nice music, too. Enjoy this positivity. It's not going to last much longer.
We'll find that missing expedition.
I'm glad you made it out in one piece. Judging by the nearby shipwrecks, I think it's safe to say the missing expedition ran aground here, too. We can't move until they've got the remaining survivors back on their feet. Unfortunately, our remaining supplies have been stolen by murlocs. Ugh, annoying little pests. I need you to recover enough first aid supplies for the wounded, then we can begin searching for the missing expedition.
Keep your guard up. Murlocs are dangerous in large numbers. Take back our supplies, but avoid fighting too many of them at once.
I actually ran a friend of mine who had never played WoW before through this. It was actually my first time seeing it, was with them. And there was this wonderful moment where they were like, okay, where do I go for the quest? And I said, well, take a look at your minimap. Boop. And you notice there was a thing up there to indicate it, too. That was an interesting day. Here's how you loot stuff. Here's how you tune on auto loot, because screw that. There we go. Yeah, you notice these are yellow mobs. Good tutorialization, as usual. Most of the starter zones start off with yellow mobs. Also, yeah, I love that functionally the very, very, very first quest is to kill murlocs. Something about that amuses me. Not gonna lie. Alright, Evo, what are you doing giving me money? We've talked about this. Don't do that. Ah! Lol, hazardous. Alright, so Evo says, do bow! Bow. I bow before the master. Can I stop bowing? Oh no! I'm stuck! I can't see if I can stop bowing, so I just have to stay bowing. No! Oh god! Ah, okay. That is a good question, then, Aaron. Agreed, Magister. The chair almost took over. Pathfinder, Wrath of the kills my schedule. Dragon Age 4 and Mass Effect Andromeda. Are there any short games you like, Eva? I'm just curious, you know, just kind of idly. Is that even possible for you to like a short game?
The Alliance leaves no one behind.
Excellent work. Let's get the survivors back on their feet.
Don't leave your post unattended.
We have to patch everyone up before we can search for the missing expedition. Take this first aid kit.
Stay focused and sharp.
Now, what's interesting is I'm pretty sure this functionality came out after Exile's Reach. Yeah, it's even telling me...
We'll find the expedition.
It's even telling me to use the quest item, but you don't have to anymore. They added this new functionality where it's smart clicks.
Never seen a storm like that.
Also, I do like the multiracial nature of this. Human, Pandaran, Worgen, Dwarf. Hey, TSB.
Nasty storm. It must have hit the first boat, too.
Now, of all the negativity you're going to hear me spit at Shadowlands over the next week or so, this isn't it. I will, however, spit negativity at TSB for daring to donate.
We have a mission to accomplish.
We also get the emptied first aid kit as a bag, our first bag.
Don't leave your post unattended.
Which I think it auto-equips. Yep, it did, right there. Auto-equipped. I saw a fire near some wreckage up ahead. We should investigate to see if there's more survivors. You're the greenest of the recruits, so you're coming with me. The others are searched the island for clues.
Keep your guard up. Lives depend on us. You three, scour the island for any sign of the expedition. Recruit, you and I will scout ahead.
People keep asking if this is BFA, and the answer will always be no. This is Shadowlands. Shadowlands gets credit for this. In other waters. Goodbye, Volcano High. Road Warden. And a thank you. Thank you, TSB. Always appreciate. Well, no, again, it makes sense why people associate this with BFA. It just isn't. Here's hamstring. Sure, whatever. I have a map button? Oh, yeah, real quick. Speaking of... So, very, very minor thing. I'm not going to give it, like, super props for this. But a lot of games will do a thing like you just saw. Hit the M button to open the map. But because that's like a picture or it's pre-generated, it'll always say M. However, this is actually, and I forget what it's called, but it's dynamic. It's a string instead of a text thing. So let me try to explain that differently. If you're typing up this tutorial, you could say, hit the M key to open the map. But if the player has rebound that to anything else, then when the text pops up, it'll say, hit the M key to open the map. They'll hit M, nothing will happen. If you, however, you put a string there, which is the map button string, so hit $331M in order to open the map, then the game will interpret that string as whatever they actually have a key bound to the moment. In other words, yeah, it calls the keybind setting, so it will say, hit M to open map. That's a really minor touch, but you would be shocked at how many tutorials fail at that basic thing. So, I appreciate that. I just wanted to call attention to it really quick.
Hungry.
Red-eye. The other's taken. Need food. Yeah, you recognize Captain Garrick yet? I actually like her. But then again, I really like Follower Dungeons. Like, so much. You're going to hear me gush so much when we get to Dragonflight. So enjoy this negativity while it's here. Dragon Age 4, Pokemon Violet, Star Ocean 2, R, and Dubao! Dubao. Ah, crap. He didn't give an unbound signal. No. Okay. Thank you, Blake Javal. I hope they kind of do some story stuff with the follower crew someday. So for those of you not aware of what I'm talking about, when you do a follower dungeon, there's a pool of followers, and it's the people from the Exile's Reach on both sides. Yeah, her and the Orc are actually friends, which I do like. They don't have much in the way of personality, but I hope they flesh that out over time, because they've been the followers for 2 expansions now. And they could do a lot with that if they wanted to.
We'll find that missing expedition. This
is Ilaria, a Draenei shaman who was lost with the expedition. She's nearly starved to death. We need to get her something to eat. Slay some of the nearby wildlife for their meat. Put whatever you find there to cook. If we can help Ilaria regain her strength, she might be able to tell us what happened to the others.
Stay focused.
Henry knew you would come.
Of course I did. He's my son. But he's a soldier of the Alliance. We leave no one behind.
Yeah, the follower dungeons are completely faction agnostic, by the way. I almost always get Garrick as my tank. By the way, this is what Blade to Vol canonically looks like in real life. This is canon now. So notice how the minimap just sort of automatically draws your attention over here to the one and only thing that's kind of doesn't stick out on it. The one thing that doesn't really fit. And this is when you see that purple outline, and you think, aha, what's this? And thus we get introduced to the concept of treasure. I mean, that's still cool in Aeruth, and that is probably what I would want long-term, given the option. But I would also be okay with them just, you know, doing some character stuff with them. Yep, there's an Etten right over there. Yeah, let's go talk to him. Why not? We're not in a hurry. By the way, I have to chop off a little bit early because I have a meeting to go to. I think I mentioned that. So I'm super happy about the internet going out, so I could be late and have to cut off early. If it makes you feel better, Evo, the very first RPG I ever played also didn't have a tutorial. Or, more accurately, it did. Dragon Quest I, as I've pointed out several times, actually tutorializes you pretty well, all things considered.
Drakkar like throw, no like fight, only throw.
What you want? You know, see Drakkar stand here in peace? Drakkar want deal no want deal with dark magic, only want things to throw. You look good to throw. Drakkar throw you back? Yeah, please.
Okay. Drakkar throw you far.
And yeah, Zandalari's ship right there. There's also a Kultiran ship in the distance. Nice aerial shot. Thanks, Drakkar. It actually really is like canon travel. Yeah, sorry, to finish my sentence. Dragon Quest I is tutorialized. It does not have a tutorial, in the same sense that Super Mario Bros. 1 doesn't have a tutorial. It is, however, tutorialized. Like all the really good older games were, when you didn't have a thing where it's like, press this button to do this, or they relied on the manual. Good game design will inform tutorialization. I had a friend of mine pick up Dragon Quest I for the very first time, I believe it was last year. And they picked up on it like that, just without hesitation and without difficulty, because it is so well tutorialized. And I was actually brought to bring FF1 up, too. FF1 has a couple of issues. For example, nothing tells you you have to equip the gear that you purchase. It's the only niggle there. But otherwise, yeah, FF1 is still reasonably well tutorialized. Town, symbols over the doors, people you can talk to, castle, treasure chest. There's a very small area you have access to, and there's only one destination you can reach other than the town. And the first boss doesn't even have any special attacks. He's just an imp with more stats.
The Quillboard. ambushed us.
Eat first, Ilaria. You need your strength.
This meat greatly benefits from the cheapest seasoning of all. Hunger. It's actually a good idea, Hazardous. Raw bloodied meat, not edible, and delicious meat. She quickly eats the meat you cooked. By the light, I feel so much better. You need to keep moving. The Quillbor have kidnapped the expedition, including Captain Garrick's son.
We have a mission to accomplish.
Ilaria says the Quillbor kidnapped the rest of the expedition, including my son. Chances are we'll have to brave the Quillbor's den. That's no small feat. They are far more aggressive and intelligent than the Murlocs you faced earlier. I need to make sure I'm not sending you to your death. We're going to have one last sparring session.
Keep your guard up. Lives depend on us. Recruit. Quillbor are far deadlier than Murlocs. You need to be ready for the dangers ahead.
I am also glad you're feeling better, Ruth. You know, one...
Use charge to start the battle. Don't give the enemy any quarter.
And yes, for those of you who haven't caught already, that is Ashley from Mass Effect. That is a good riddle, actually, Lord Haremont. Because the automatic answer is salt, but no. So, like... I'm sorry, I just want to show this off real quick. This is class-specific.
Use charge to start the battle. Don't give the enemy any quarter.
Just a nice little tidbit there. It really wants you to do this. Oh God, what was I was actually going to say something. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 actually has a pretty bad tutorial, all things considered. It is very non-indicative of the game. I was going to say something. Guild Wars 2 has a tutorial. That's how I'm going to phrase that.
Good. Slam will spend some of your rage to deal damage. You can slam as long as you have enough rage.
Oh God, STO. Frickin' STO.
Charge at me again to close the distance between us. Always begin your attack with a charge. Fine work. Charge will build your rage and damage your enemies. Always use it to start a fight. One last time. Charge. Good. You're ready to face the Quillbor. Let's get our people back.
One thing I find interesting. A tank having a closer is standard operating procedure over in FF14. In WoW, that's mostly just a warrior thing. Now, I'm not trying to say that warriors are better or worse. It's just interesting because charge, that's to say, a closer, is actually very, I think the word I want to go with here is iconic to what a warrior is in WoW, right? So it makes sense that they tutorialize charge so much because it's one of the more unique aspects of warriors that separates them from all the other classes. Demon Hunters, for example, have a dash, but it's a straight dash. It doesn't actually close to an enemy. It just shoves you forward, kind of like Blink does, right? And of course, Death Knights have yank, pulling them to you. Stuff like that.
We have a mission to accomplish.
Fine work, Blade Tuval. Let's speak with Ilaria and hunt down this Quillbor.
Don't leave your post unattended.
Go ahead and grab that.
Arcanamporos.
The Quillbor kidnapped the rest of the expedition and took them to the north. I heard mention of needing more sacrifices for a ritual. Please, you must rescue them. Captain Garrick's son was part of the group. He swore his mother would save us.
Farewell.
We'll head north and rendezvous with the others. Ilaria, recover your stamina before pushing forward.
The what, Xavion? Sorry.
I've never given up on any member of the Alliance. I'm not about to start by failing my son.
No, they put a lot of effort into this. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and grab our screenshot now, I think. That way I don't have to remake this character. For the thumbnail. Sorry, give me just a sec. I'm just going to grab that, like that. There we go. Okay, we're good. Oh, yes, 100%. Universal positive. The level squish was a really good idea. Frankly, FF14 needs to do it soonish. Probably, I'd say, within another expansion. I figured out what I was going to say, and it's something really dumb. One of the things I've always liked the idea of is that regardless of reality, I like it when certain things are very specialized, right? Now, that's the video gamer in me, to be honest with you. But I like the idea that the Romulans are good at such and such, the Klingons are good at such and such, and the Federation is good at such and such, right? So, 100, Gowry. And I like it when, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense, a human footman has more armor than an orc who has more health than a human footman, right? Different expressions, different ways of making them different. Variety. I love variety, you know that. The reason I'm saying all of this is that when I see her in her classic footman garb with a classic big old kite shield there, that just screams tank to me. And it's one of the reasons I'm really happy whenever when I see her as the tank over in Follower Dungeons, is because to me that is an immediate visual indicator of tank. It's not like the big ostentatious armor that you'll usually see for players. It's just armor. I mean, granted, it is still fantasy armor. But it just, I don't know, it works for me in a way I can't actually put into words. That's it. I just wanted to comment on that.
Over here. The Quillbore are conducting some sort of ritual. You've got my attention.
Got some good news and some very, very bad news.
Keep your chin up. The hunt goes...
What I can gather, the Quillbore are performing a necromantic ritual on one of their expedition members. Their chief is Geolord Grekog. He is the one who seeks to drain the life from our friend. Slay Grekog. Save the captive member of the expedition. He may know where the others were taken.
Aim true.
Quillbore are primitive and savage. They rarely practice any magic other than geomancy. But these particular Quillbore seem to be dabbling in necromancy. They must be stopped. Slay the Quillbore. We cannot allow them to raise an army of the dead.
Keep your chin up.
Let's go. Those monsters have my son.
Henry? I didn't see him, but I'm sure he's still alive.
I know. I raised him to overcome any challenge.
My meeting isn't for another about hour and a half. Hopefully we'll get through this in an hour and a half. We probably will. Exile's Reach isn't that long. Oh yeah. So you notice they only have us kill 7 things. I know that sounds like a strange thing to comment on, but one thing I've been noticing... I'm setting up a Pornhub account here. One of the things I've noticed is that the specifics of how many of what things quests require is something that changes in terms of quality throughout the game.
Give us strength.
It's something I've bashed several times over in Legion, for example, and also like the older expansions as well. Go kill 5 things? No. Go kill 30 things. You start to notice trends. For example, 10 is a really common thing, a common requirement.
No sacrifice!
Sometimes 15. You're welcome, Bregman. I'm not going to tell you what the meeting is about, is what I'm saying.
Ritual.
Yeah, get me 30 of such and such. Get me 10 of such and such. Get me 15 of such and such. What is the equipment? Or sorry, what is the drop rate? Etc, etc, etc. You get the idea. Yeah, tutorialization of what a rare mob is and how that operates. Sorry, it's tutorializing so many things in such a short period of time. I feel like I'm falling behind here. Yeah, no kidding, McAngramstein. Get me 4 of this. Oh, God! What's the drop rate? Oop. I'm gonna let this guy get a tag in. Go ahead. You were here first. Go on. Hey, Russ. No? You don't need it? Come on, it's cool. I'm not a dick. No, alright, whatever.
Intruder! You will be our next sacrifice.
I knew the Alliance would rescue us.
Let's get out of here. I'm sorry. Let's get out of here, is what I meant to say. So now we have a gnome. What are we missing at this point?
You're Captain Garrick, Henry's mother. He always said you'd come for us.
Well, he was right. Now, where's the rest of the expedition?
I'm not sure, but I know how we can find out.
I know that name sounded familiar. Thank you, Dakota. That's the Elric guy. I will be playing it with my friends first, Gowry. Sorry.
That expedition is counting on us.
Good work. I hope those Quilbar learn that necromancy is not a path to power.
Aim true.
You found a new gear piece. Here's how you can equip it. Your item has been equipped. Yay.
There's no problem that engineering can't solve.
Thanks for saving my life. They said this would be a run-of-the-mill, uneventful expedition. Definitely was not. And I couldn't be happier.
Bring back something interesting.
You're looking for Henry Garrick, right? He's a nice guy. Big glum, but nice. Luckily, you only happened to rescue the one and only Lindy Springstock, inventor extraordinaire. I've got my Scout-O-Matic 5000 all set to go. I'll fly up to the air and let you scout the entire area. I'll give you the honors. Okay.
Take it easy. And I brought along a miniaturized Scout-O-Matic 5000. Let's just unshrink it. Whoops, too big. A slight adjustment, and...
Come on. You can do it.
There, just right. Give it a try.
Yes, Valvidrix.
Come in. It seems the Scout-O-Matic 5000's camera is working as expected.
It has a camera? Then why does anyone need to be up there?
It's a good
As
question.
a backup, of course. What if the machine were to break? We wouldn't be able to see.
He's got a point.
I doubt anything of the sort will happen. Just don't jostle it around too much.
Quiet. I see something.
We will take your soul and raise the dragon from the dead.
The full force of the Alliance will rain down upon you.
Ha! Our dragon will crush them. We have other rituals to oversee. Savor the final moments of your life.
Ugh, necromancers, am I right?
Dragon back from the dead? How are we going to deal with that?
We have to stop the sacrifice. But it would take an army to get through all of the undead.
Or science. The resizer can enlarge one of the nearby boars so it can trample all of those monsters flat.
We don't have any other choice. My son's life is on the line.
Real quick, nice little tidbit. Ogre architecture, right over there. And you can see it in the distance up. It's too far away, but it's that way. There we go, over there. There's also a giant ogre statue that way.
Necromancy is nothing next to technology.
Citation needed. There's no problem a little resizing can't fix. Let's find something to stomp those undead flat.
Let me know how it goes.
The resizer version 9.0, 9.0.1, excuse me, barely works on inanimate objects. I have no idea what it'll do to organic matter. But if we do nothing, Henry will die. Desperate times.
Take it easy. One giant boar coming up. Let's just calibrate the resizer.
Yeah, I noticed the number there. Ha ha ha. Here's another quest tutorial.
Whoops, too small. Let's see. Turn this dial. Okay, try it now. Yikes! Oh, that won't do at all. Here, try again.
I like these mixes, by the way.
Eureka! A giant boar! Let's report back to the captain.
The Alliance leaves no one behind.
I never thought I'd be so relieved to face with a giant scientifically enhanced boar. You'll save my son.
Stay focused and sharp.
We don't know how long the resizing will last, so let's get moving. We're going to ride this boar and mow down the army of undead between us and Henry. The large ones are pulsing with dark magic. If we kill them, I bet they'll take out any enemies near them. Hopefully Henry knows more about what the ogres are planning.
Keep your guard up. We'll deal with the army. The rest of you, push forward and set up camp once we've cleared a path.
Vehicle quest tutorial.
Mother! I knew you'd save us!
Short and sweet.
Something's happening to the boar! Hang on, recruit! We've dealt with the undead. Now let's finish off that necromancer and save my son. Good riddance. Let's go check on Henry.
Mother, I'm sorry. I tried to fight the ogres, but they were too strong.
Henry, always remember that you are more than your mistakes. Now, Private Garrick, I want a full situation report.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, Ashley's voice actress does pretty good with the military brat character in general. Also, you noticed that, right? First she was a mom, then she was his commander. In that order. I like that.
You're a true hero.
Thank you, stranger. I thought I was going to be punished for failing to save my friends. I'm relieved to see I was mistaken. Let's see. Blade Taval, mace. Or, sword. Sword it is.
Be careful out. Yes, Mother. Captain Garrick. The ogres are using necromancy to raise a dragon from the dead. They need sacrifices like us to fuel their magic. They're about to start a ritual. It's already begun. They're going to use the life force they gathered to reanimate the dragon.
Then we need to move quickly. Recruit Private Garrick. The Alliance never gives up hope, even in the face of disaster. We'll put a stop to these rituals before the ogres can complete them. Let's go.
Yeah, I should probably put this down here, actually. Oh, yeah. So we just got a second bag there. Notice they've been kind of spoon-feeding us bags as we go. That's an interesting question, Trihexia. And depends on a lot of things that aren't canon anymore, so...
Hey there.
Who knows?
Safe travels.
Together, we'll see our way through this.
Oh yeah, sorry, new sword. Let me show that off really quick. I know that looks plain, but honestly, that's pretty solid, I would say. Especially for what it's going for.
We can't rest until we stop the ritual.
Quartermaster Richter was able to scavenge supplies from the wreckage on the island. Why don't you visit her, see if there's anything you need. You want to be well equipped for whatever we encounter next.
Stay focused and sharp.
Good day to you.
An Alliance tabard. That sounds like something Blade Jamal would wear.
See you around.
Yeah, you've probably noticed I've been doing a lot of what I believe is referred to as humble mogging this particular playthrough. That's not really on purpose. It's just I've discovered this review stream that I actually really like humble mogging. There's a lot of really decent down-to-earth stuff, and ironically, most of it's more new.
Ogres and necromancy. A dangerous combination.
Like, look at BC's gear for a second. That's not... that's not super fancy, right? Or that's not super plain, excuse me. It is super fancy. All stocked up? Great. Private Cole and Quartermaster Richter also found this bag. They thought you might make good use of it.
Don't leave your post unattended.
I bet we'll save the expedition in no time.
Yeah, true enough, Uthor. Because, yeah, BC Mongs are very flashy. Hey, Blateval, you're a warrior, right? Maybe you could deal with this situation. I was scouting the area with Lindy's device and saw a ghost who was offering power to any true warriors. I know you're still new at this, but why don't you try going over there? We could use every advantage against the ogres.
For the Alliance. I wonder what that warrior's ghost wants. Perhaps he can offer some sort of help.
Yeah, we finally have decent resolution for, you know, like even the armor I have, which I believe this is actually BFA, I want to say armor, which still isn't really up to date in terms of modern stuff, has a noticeably higher resolution than actual vanilla stuff. To use a contrary example, if we go back to vanilla stuff, hang on a sec. Here, so like actual vanilla stuff, that was the kind of resolution we could pull back then. Or like that. Ugh. Let's use another contrast. Oh, looks like I don't have it here. No, I'm lying. This is more recent, isn't it? No, that's I'm right. That is Shadowlands. I'm right. Because that's Shadowlands right there. And that's Legion. So yeah, I'm right. Sorry, now I'm curious. Looking at some shoulders here. Okay, that's a much better example. Ignore the dorky popped collar thing for a second. Take in the texturing on just that shoulder plate right there. That's a much... There's a lot more detail going on there than you'd see in any of the older stuff. Like there's splotches, there's dents, there's like a cut going along. That's... You can't see my mouse. It's a lot more detail. You can tell just by looking at it. In contrast to, once again... that. Like this is early PS2 graphics, to be really blunt about it, which makes sense because this came out in 2005, or more accurately 3. But let's not get into that. Moving on.
I shouldn't have left Ironforge.
Captain Gaddock wants us to search west of the camp for any other members of the expedition. Alaria and I'll go ahead. Meet us in the west. We'll see what we can find.
Watch yourself out there.
Are we a half elf?
All right.
Oh my God, we are. Blateval, I hit random. I don't know if you saw that. Blateval, you are a half-elf. Congrats.
I'll try my best to help.
Thanks for saving me. I'll do my best to be of help to you. We need to find the remaining survivors of the expedition before the ogres sacrifice them for dark ritual. I saw one of the survivors being dragged away by some harpies. They have a roost to the north. Keela and I will meet you up there with a scouting report.
Stay away from dark magic. Keela and I will scout ahead. We'll meet you to the north, just outside the Harpy Den.
Yeah, half-elves are extremely recent. War Within recent. In fact, I believe they only became available the patch we're currently on. Eritor doesn't count, and that's not what I meant anyways.
I'm grabbing a pint when this blows over.
A giant pit of spiders right on our doorstep. Aren't we lucky ones?
I'll save a pint for you if you want it.
The wind whispers of people being trapped in this pit. I think there may be more members of the expedition within. I fear it'll be up to you to make the descent to save the survivors. Should be 6 total, though the winds say one is farther away from the others. With our luck, the last survivor's at the bottom of the pit. Good luck. Make sure no spiders follow you on the way out.
Go with the light.
Good luck! Those survivors are counting on you.
Rescue anyone you can find.
Yeah, speaking of which, we've got flower quest design. So there was a bunch of quests there. They branch out south to here, northeast to here, west to here, and this is going to lead us over there, where we'll pick up another quest. Flower quest. Nice place. Yeah, once again using the Maldraxian spell effects, by the way. Which makes sense. We've been seeing those for a while at this point. Aurelia Dream Chaser. Now that sounds like a night elf. I think I did too, Maverick. Well, no, I don't see one on the map. Nope, there it is. Yep, I did in fact miss one. I was scrolling up through chat because someone asked a question and I was trying to find where it was. Oh well. Still having trouble breathing. Still irritable at losing out on valuable stream time. Happy to be in Exile's Reach. Looking forward to taking a baseball bat to the rest of Shadowlands. No, seriously, like, there's so many things. We all meme on the jailer, and for good reason. But I honestly expect that Shadowlands is going to be the episode 1 of WoW expansions. For those who don't understand that, everyone memes on Jar Jar Binks, but I've noticed this unusual tendency, and goes back years, where some people think that the only thing wrong with episode 1 is Jar Jar Binks. No.
Is someone there? Help! Elune, guide them to me.
I don't know how to do that, Ruth.
I will harvest your life force, and then those who sealed me in here shall burn.
Nice place. Are you okay there, lady? You alright? Do you need any help up there? Is there anything I could do for you? Like signal. Okay, just say something, okay? She isn't talking to me. How rude. It's that freaking hunter again.
You will be kindling for the flame!
Okay, he's tapped it, so I feel safe tapping.
If I die, so do you.
You saved my life. Allow me to return the favor. Hop on.
Oh god, he was a load-bearing boss!
Please shield us from harm.
Run! It's Liara! Oh my god, it is. I mean, it's not the actress. That would be funny. I would totally have cast whoever voices Liara for this if I could have. Laura Bailey, I guess.
Poor creatures. We cannot stop to help them. By the light, you're alive!
You did a good job saving those people and dealing with those spiders.
Those spiders were victims too. They just lost their home.
Yeah, well, I guess you could see it that way.
Man.
You should have known better than to say that to a druid.
Ah, you were just telling me how much you hate spiders.
The light shines on all creatures. That does not mean I have to like them.
By the way, I love how our little boar is now just permanently shrunk and running around here. What I'd have to do is I'd have to make a completely separate page, Literith, which I guess I could do. I'll think about it.
We can't rest until we stop the ritual.
As much as I love more paperwork. Raulia Dreamchaser is a druid of the Cenarian Circle, an order dedicated to protecting the wilds of Azeroth. Thank you for rescuing us. Her aid is sure to be of use against the ogres.
Keep your guard up. Lives depend on us.
Yeah, it's a little nippy. Is it still snowing? Looks like it's not snowing anymore. Oh, hang on a sec. You see a crude sign made by the ogres. It contains a warning. Big bear! Bad. Big bear guard big ogre treasure. Kill after ritual, get treasure. Make more power. You'll need friends to defeat this. I don't know, that hunter seems to be doing fine, but I'll join in. Because there happens to be a player here doing this right now. No, I noticed too, Thor. I also, I don't remember when they did this. But at some point or another, it's probably hard to even tell on stream, but they added a little indicator there. You can see there's a little horde symbol right next to it. And, of course, an alliance symbol if you're on the other side. To indicate that you're getting an appearance that you can't use on this side. That's it. It's just a nice little tidbit. It's pretty recent, yeah. I don't remember exactly when, but it's pretty recent. Nope. We are in Shadowlands, Lita Fairy. Welcome to hell. Oh, there's a treasure? Ugh, do I have to loot the treasure? Ugh. Looting. Ugh. Ugh. The worst of all things. Find a cache of treasure, just like the sign mentioned. And our first shoulder blades. Nice. New feature unlocked, area looting. Those are weird looking. But, nice res. Oh, I'm coming. Oh god, no, you're too far away. I don't have taunt yet, do I? I do have taunt. Got your back. What? Elizar? Hang on. Did you donate or subscribe through Twitch, Elizar? Let's start with that. No, that was a 1 or 2, not a yes or a no.
Is there no one who can grant me glory in death?
Very cool. You are no hero of myth and legend, but I see potential in you. Stand still, I will share my technique with you, and then I implore you, end my suffering.
End my suffering! Have you come to challenge me?
You now wield my most powerful skill. Now use it to finish me. These ogres trapped my spirit here long ago for daring to defy them. Only through a glorious death will I be allowed to rest. Won't you go to the maw? It's the only way I'll see my brothers and sisters in the afterlife.
I seek my final death. Yes, let us fight as true warriors.
Okay, so that sounds like a Twitch subscription, Elizar.
Show me your strength. Now, use execute death at last.
You're welcome. As usual, warrior quests involve a very cool. Hang on, Elizar, you're jumping ahead of me. Twitch, yes or no? Is that a Twitch sub? Yes or no? Odin, only I am worthy to execute this Vraigu.
Private Cole, reporting for duty.
Sounds like an adventure. Where do you think the ghost went after you fought it? To the maw!
We'll get stronger together.
That's another thing they're inconsistent about, by the way. Supposedly, all of the souls, everyone who dies everywhere, from the end of Legion until the end of Shadowlands, all go to the maw. Yet there are several asterisks there. And I don't mean the ones where which they account for. I mean, like, they just don't go there for some reason. But we'll get to negativity later. We're enjoying the intro, the tutorial.
It seems the Harpies are holding one of your people captive.
That's Merity, our mage. We have to rescue her.
What in the world? Are you crying? Oh, those are hands. Okay.
I am light incarnate.
You are not in league with the ogres. Please, you must aid me. I have been bound against my will by a dark magic. I ask only that you free me. Take a piece of my light. Use it to dispel the necrotic energies keeping me in captive.
May them dispel the foul magic that binds me here. The light will prevail.
More Maldraxian effects, by the way. They'll be consistent about that, if nothing else.
Bring an end to these rituals. But the ogres ensnared me, drained my power. Free me so I might recover, and pass some of my power to you.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
The spell is weakening. The light returns to me. Ah, freedom. You have my gratitude.
You have my thanks. I must leave this world, but I wish you luck.
The light.
And he gives us, functionally, a mount.
And end the necromancy that plagues this island.
For the next 10 minutes. But still, this is basic mount speed, 60%.
It seems the Harpies are holding one of your people captive.
That's Merity, our mage. We have to rescue her.
This is the second time I have done the island ever, Yura, if that answers you.
We have to rescue my friends.
Seems the Harpies are up to no good. We'll need your help with this.
Watch out for ogres.
Yeah, we did Murlocs, then we did Quillbore. Now we're doing Harpies.
Stay away from dark magic.
Our expedition's mage, Merity Huntswell, is being held by the Harpies. We've got to stop the ritual and rescue Merity. You lead the charge. Keela and I will back you up if things look dire.
Be careful out there.
The Harpies' totems are scattered throughout the area. They're known for using their magic to corrupt those nearby, and even now I can hear those foul whispers on the air. We must destroy their totems before any of us are tainted by dark magic.
Watch out for ogres.
The Harpies are preparing for a dreadful assault. They plan to attack our allies at the camp. Harpies swoop in and snatch their victims before bringing them to their nests to feast. We have to stop them. Slay the Harpies and their wargs to ensure their forces are too weak to stage an assault.
Stay focused.
Let's deal with those harpies. I just hope Merity is okay.
She will fine.
Be. Come on.
I mean, she's dead and being eaten alive, but she's fine. Yeah, I tend to like a lot of the actual starter experiences, the ones from Kata. Oh, absolutely, Trihexia. Yeah, she's dead and being eaten alive. It's a hard knock life. So you say it's not a Twitch subscription. So where did you subscribe to me?
Me gonna bring you to boss.
Speaking of ogres. By the way, this is the second ogre rare.
Boss, counting on me.
Well, no, it is possible, Lunarif. I have nothing set up for that, but it is possible to subscribe to me on either, whatever the other thing is I can't even remember the name of, or PayPal. I usually... So you see a tier 1 month subscription. That's Twitch. Twitch is the only one who uses the terminology of tiers when it comes to subs. Now that we've established that you sub to me on Twitch, do me a favor and hit refresh. And a button should show up in chat, which I want you to then hit. I'm here, Merity. I'm here.
I'll cast a spell to get myself out of here. Keep the harpies off of me.
I think they're amazing, Eva. What do you think? Like, I mean, again, other than Ouroboros, name an area that's going to look bad from this point onwards.
I can always just a nibble.
No, I still think Kurthia looks good. Although maybe I shouldn't say that, because I'm not sure.
I'll heal you.
I'm thinking of the Maw. Maw looks amazing. We'll see about Kurthia when we get there. Actually, we don't, Cyan Druid. Other than the fact that they walked away from it so hard,
Huge is headed this way.
they barely
If we fight together.
talk about it.
The alliance.
Oh my god. Whoop, hello. Correct, Lord Haramat. That is, I call it Maldraxian, but it's actually more like the color of death. You'll be seeing it a bit over the next expansion.
There! Come on! Let's get out of here while we can!
Yeah, like, it just... I feel silly for dissecting this, but take this in for a second. Big, general chunks of rock in the distance, right? Like, really, really large chunks of rock, giving that crude, brutalist kind of a look. Big old empty tree. Inside the tree, you see vines hanging from it. grass, which is growing on the base of it, and fungus, which is growing out of the sides of it. Over here on the right, we have a larger bone surrounded by smaller bones, which kind of diminishes into just the dirt after a certain point. We've got lots of lush green grass, and I forget what it's called, but it's that knot grass with the big green leaves on it. Nice big timber-looking trees, huge trees on the right, and then smaller trees around it, followed by a lot of trees in the distance, but several of them are broken and shattered apart, mostly the ones that the harpies themselves are using, which, if you'll notice, a lot of the harpy nests are either hanging from the broken trees, or actually they've got their fetishes dangling from them. And then ahead of us, we've got nice big teal glowing mushrooms, which are next to several bushes. And all of this is set across a backdrop of a pseudo road, which someone has paved, not paved, wrong word, cleared. So there's a clear road path going through it, which goes around the mountain, which is in the distance, with a nice skybox in the background. I'm pretty sure I missed a few steps there, but there's a lot going on. And this is just where my camera happened to be pointed when I happened to decide to talk about that. You'll also notice, going back to that natural tutorialization, something that WoW has almost always done. Like, there are very, very few times when WoW has not done this. There's a basic concept. Roads equal safe. And it's there. I don't think anything in-game has ever indicated it, other than just the design of the layout. But if you're on a road, you have an extremely high chance to avoid enemies and encounters. That's still true here. So you're being tutorialized, like it or not, that this pathway, this is the safe zone. You're walking on this, no enemies here. Good question, Linnea.
What's on your mind?
Oh, you rescued me from a grim fate. Being a practicing mage, I was figuring one of my own spells would do me good, not a harpy.
Keep your feet on the ground.
That should keep our safe camp for now. We should hurry and stop whatever the ogres have planning.
Perseverance is your best weapon.
The foul magic of this area is dissipating. I think we're safe for now.
Be careful out there.
We did it. What a rush. So it feels to be an adventurer? I could get used to this.
Watch out for ogres. The captain will be thrilled. Let's get back to camp and deliver the good news.
You say that, Blade Tival, but in my experience, that's not actually true. Oblivion is a good example of that. Not being true, I mean. Having said that, you know a weird game that manages roads equals safe pretty well? Zelda 2, of all things.
We saved Merity. All thanks to this recruit.
Good work. Now get some rest. We'll find the others soon.
Thank you, Ramble, for the sub. Very, very much. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. That would be Oblivion, Magister. Roads are not safe in Oblivion. Roads are there as guidelines to get to places. But there's actually a lot of encounters, both scripted and random, on the roads. Argus, little Billy. Most specifically... Oh, I can't zoom out the map. Oh my god. Antorus. Right outside Antorus. I forget the name of it. It's the 3rd zone on Argus.
Ogres and necromancy. A dangerous combination.
I'm relieved you rescued Merity. That's 1 more life saved and 1 fewer sacrificed. You got it, Ramble. Thank you. I'm glad to see you help Kenry get back to his old self. We'll work with Merity to figure out the plan of action.
Stay focused and sharp.
We've rescued everyone except for the expedition's captain. Lindy's scout-o-matic spotted her just outside the Darkmaul Citadel. Merity has come up with an interesting plan to rescue the captain, and it may be our only chance. Come, we'll convene in the shadow of the Citadel and begin our rescue mission.
Keep your guard up. Lives depend on us. Recruit, you're with us. The rest of you, stay here while we head to the Citadel.
Again, to my knowledge, big asterisk there, we haven't heard a lot of interviews from the writers and developers who say things like, you know, this sucked. What we do hear is a near total silence about Shadowlands and its relevance to the story going forward. We are 2 expansions out, and not counting Ardenweald, the Shadowlands might as well not have even existed. It is extremely high probability that the Jailer has been completely retconned out of existence as of now.
Together, we'll see our way through this.
All right, Blade Taval, I hope you're a good actor, because you're about to play up to a very tough crowd. He's a good actor, I can confirm. I look forward to hearing him as Cecil someday.
Stay focused and sharp.
We need to get inside Dark Maw's Citadel, rescue the captain of the expedition, and stop the Ogre Necromancer behind all of this. Meridy's going to cast an illusion to make you look like an ogre, and you're going to take us in as prisoners. Plan is inventive, but it's the best way to get us behind enemy lines. Speak with Meridy when you're ready for her to cast the spell. She assures me it'll be temporary.
Don't leave your post unattended.
Actually, yeah, J. Palmer. Warlords pretty directly led to several things, not the least of which being Legion. Warlords also codified how time works in-game. I have, Little Billy. It's fine. There is Anduin being mind-controlled, that's true. And it's gone! Okay, Anduin's no longer mind-controlled. Woof! Oh, we did it. We got rid of the Jailer. We just had to sacrifice Anduin, and I will make that choice 100% of the time! Sorry. What was I saying? So, look, I'm sorry. Anduin must be laid down upon the altar of sacrifice. Blizzard literally sacrificed devs getting rid of that. If you say so, Linnerith. Guys, Linnerith is completely insane. We need to kill her before she infects the others. Okay, where was I? Sorry, I'm having to pull a CSV of my subscribers, which is something I hate doing for various reasons. Look, if Threshold doesn't exist in Star Trek, then Shadowlands doesn't exist in WoW. I'm still going to review it, and it's still going to count against the score, but that doesn't mean I have to acknowledge that it exists. You're in luck, Elizar. It looks like you did actually subscribe to me today, even though nothing anywhere indicates that other than a CSV timestamp. In the future, if this happens again, I'm going to count it as if you didn't sub. Something is going wrong somewhere, and it's almost assuredly on your end. No offense. So, thank you for the sub. What would you like to put that towards? Watch, like tomorrow you'll pop on and there'll be a button saying, hey, you've subscribed! Yeah, where did you subscribe? See, the main reason I wanted to actually double check that... No, Anduin's great. You kidding me, Blateville? The main reason I wanted to double check that is because I had this really awful feeling that Elizar had been scammed. Spoofing websites is one of the oldest and most common forms of scamming people. And having a fake Twitch subscription page would be a perfect way to scam someone. Especially since nothing was showing up anywhere indicating that he actually subscribed to me. That's why I manually checked the files. Age of Mythology R. Pokemon Stadium. Disciples. Done. Okay.
It needed some magic. If you feel a strange tingle, that means the illusion is working.
All right, recruit. Just act like an ogre and get us inside the Citadel.
Yeah, no, a scammer would totally send you an email, Elizar.
Don't say anything at all. Just smile and wave.
Again, that's why I wanted to manually check. Yeah, it's like, thank you for the purchase. This email confirms your recent payment of this at this date to this person. Monthly subscription SWE. Like, that doesn't... Yeah. Come along, slaves! Yeah, spoofing emails is also a joke. I could send you an email right now from twitch.tv. It would take me like 20 seconds.
Sacrifices! Go to cooking pit! Wave at Gorgroth! Show what you got!
Keep moving. Let's see what we can learn about the ritual.
So, ogres. Speaking of warlords' relevance.
What do we have here? All the sacrifices we thought we lost. Take them to the back. We'll seal them with the wardstones like we did their leader. It is time to complete the ritual atop the Citadel. And all, this one got some moves. You dance good.
Also, yeah, tutorialization for optional objectives.
I think you're taking the ogre act a little too far.
What? What do you mean? Oh yeah, these are assuredly left over from Warcraft 1 or 2. 100%. That's a good question, Traxia. Where did you sub from, Elizar? Because that might have been the source of the problem. You should only ever sub through Twitch itself. Or, if you're giving a direct donation, through my website.
Captain Kelra! No, no, no! How can we break these seals?
There is always a way, Henry.
With fire. We don't have any fire mages. With steel.
Ogres and necromancy. A dangerous combination.
Captain Kelra won't last much longer. We need to acquire the ward stones to break the ritual before it kills her. We'll hold the line here. Take out the ogre lieutenants and get those stones.
Keep your guard. Gorgroth mentioned ward stones. Find them so we can free the captain.
I'll try my best to help.
This is bad. Captain Keller's bound by magic. The ogres are preparing to attack our friends, and the ritual's almost complete. I have to stay calm. I can't give up now, right? May sound risky, but we need to take the fight to the ogres. We're behind enemy lines, so we'll be able to get the jump on them and draw their focus from the camp. Take down the ogres you can. That should keep them away from our friends.
Stay away from dark magic.
Sounds like the ogres are planning to attack our friends back at the camp. I saw them working on the catapults. Didn't know those orcs knew how to use them. Lucky for you, I packed something special. Can't just see a little Lindy. Take these bombs.
Oh, those
Say no
ogres
more.
would know what hit them.
Oh, really, Ramble? I didn't know that. Go figure. Still, I would prefer to see a notification on stream if someone subs. I don't like having to rip a CSV every single time just to confirm that you did actually sub. Now, while I wait for this to respawn, you know one thing I like about this? It's actually treating ogres like a real threat. I know that sounds strange, but really, ogres have been low tier since... I'd say BC at this point. Of course, it makes perfect sense for brand new newbies. Well, I mean, ogres were the most overpowered unit in Warcraft 2, but yeah, I get your point. Screw scammers. Just screw them hard, honestly. I hate scammers so much. I really do. There's another new type of scam that's been going around lately, which is trying to insert a second address bar underneath the existing address bar on your website. Basically, a spoof website. Thoughts on Disney's Fantastic Four? I think I knew that existed. Pretty sure. I haven't seen the trailer yet. It's been the age of scammers for a while now. The Nigerian prince email concept exists for a reason. So we got a strange pebble, a pretty pebble, a shiny pebble, a mysterious rock. Ooh. Get some real treasure here. I hope it will outperform the Fantastic Four movie, or Fan-4-Stick, if you prefer. If it doesn't, something has gone wrong somewhere.
Wog! Wog! Wog!
Wug. Oh, I used to collect rocks all the time. For example, rocks like this very rock right here, which you can have for the low, low price of, no, you can't have this. This is my rock. Screw off. This was given to me by my niece, my middle niece, who likes to collect rocks.
Invader! Me smash good!
Are you sure you're going to smash good? Yeah, why? Okay, you're the boss.
Get smashed! Oh.
I'm telling you, if there's one major change I'm making in our Warcraft, it's that the ogres are not going to be stupid. They don't have to be super mega smart or wandering around in spaceships, but they're not stupid. It actually weirds me out a little bit how stupid the ogres are portrayed, considering that as a species, they're not. But I digress.
We keep sacrifice. You know, stop it.
I'm sure everyone gets a shot here. Is that everyone? Except for that mage.
Me speak.
I am weirded out by how many players are doing this right now. No, of course not, Elizar, because ogres play rock, rock, rock. Margosh. Eva. Mar and Gosh. Good evening, Mr. Floyd. Yep. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Rock! Ah! Your rock bigger than my rock. I win. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, sorry, you mean the double-headed ogre here. Well, I have no idea what their name is. I hope we'll meet them, and I hope we'll kill them, and rip off their heads, and feast on their blood, and... Excuse me. No. We don't need stupid ogres. That's what we have trogs for. It's apparently Gorgoth. Gore and Goth. Excuse me, Mr. Chef. Your stew stinks. Literally.
You gonna get
a friendly two-header? I don't think we have, actually. If we did, it'd probably be in Dustwallow. Or Faralos. That's a good question, Lizar. If you figure out the answer to that, let me know.
You're a true hero.
That should buy us enough time to stop the ritual. Woo.
Watch out for ogres.
My gauntlets. Oh,
Necromancy.
oh, great work. I'll just tell Lydia's bombs work perfectly.
Well, time to get to work.
That's a good question, Eleazar. It probably is a retcon, because if you remember, two-headed ogres back in Warcraft 2 had stupid speech until you upgraded them to Ogre Mages, at which point they had smart speech. It was an interesting bit of storytelling, actually.
Thank you for saving me. But we still need to stop Gorgroth.
There you go, Gorgroth. You were right. Interesting outfit.
I owe you my life.
So these stones were used to bind me. The ogres were clearly concerned about you thwarting their plans.
There is still work to be done.
Thank you for saving me, but we have no time to lose. The ogres will not stop till they've raised the dragon.
The ritual must be stopped.
Gorgroth plans to raise a powerful dragon, Ravnir, from the dead. He conducts the dark ritual atop this citadel. You have stymied his efforts by saving me and my crew. You must storm the citadel and do a dungeon.
There is still work to be done.
This is it. It's time to do a dungeon. Now this could be interesting. Looks like we got a solo one. That's fine. That's fine.
Let's move. I'll draw the ogre's attacks. The rest of you focus on taking them down.
As I say, this might legitimately be our very, very first follower dungeon in the game. Never, Mr. Floyd! Yeah, I notice we have no party frames. Then again, this is the default UI, so I'm not sure where they'd be.
We've almost cleared the room. Keep pushing.
This place is full of necrotic energy. They must be close to reanimating the dragon.
Yura is very excited about the music. I'm actually curious if they ever went back and touched this up any. I legitimately don't know. Again, this is only the second time I've done it. It is surprisingly high quality.
That's one of Gorgroth's top lieutenants. Can we really defeat him?
We haven't come this far to quit now. Recruit, you lead the attack. I'll charge in after you.
We got this.
We're gonna smash. You no stop ritual.
I'll keep his attacks focused on me. Henry, you heal us up.
Understood, Captain.
Yeah, Henry, could you heal me, please? Thank you.
Never see Gorgroth win.
Look, Fife, they're fine.
No time to waste. We've got Gorgoth cornered.
We actually have access to talents, but nothing's bugging me too. That's interesting.
There's Gorgroth, and the dragon he's trying to reanimate.
Puny vermin, you will not stop the ritual. Not after all we have done.
Yeah, I love it. This whole quest arc is all about trying to stop them from raising one dragon as an undead. One unit in Warcraft 3 terms.
Ravnir will destroy you all!
Now, everyone! For the Alliance!
I don't think there is such a difference in this particular setting, Mr. Ploy.
The final sacrifice!
No! He's completing the ritual! Nothing happened. I think we stopped it.
Why did you say that?
Foolish Ogre! You have given me nowhere near enough power!
Don't give up! We can still win!
Pathetic mortals! Your deaths will nourish me!
We've done it! The ogres and their dragon have been defeated, and the storm is cleared. Recruit, speak to me when you're ready to leave the Citadel. We need to find a way back to Stormwind. We can't rest until we stop the ritual.
You should feel proud of yourself. We all worked together to thwart the plans of an insane necromancer while rescuing a missing expedition. Let's get out of this Citadel. We need to figure out how we're going to get off the island.
Stay focused and... Look! Alliance reinforcements!
There ye are! We've been trying to get through the storm to reach ye.
Together, we'll see our way through this.
Seems things are finally looking up. It's time we return to Stormwind.
Don't leave your post unattended.
It's time for us to... you and the other recruits have been invaluable in this operation. I'll make sure to include that in a report. Hop on a griffin.
Stay focused. Excellent work, recruit.
Let's go home.
Hop on a griffin and fly home to Stormwind.
Yeah, so we need to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. I would say yes, Pillars of Snow.
The rest of those ogres are running for the hills! They never stood a chance.
In time, the island will heal from their dark rituals.
Look on the horizon! One of our airships approaches!
A true testament to the strength of the Alliance.
Oh, there it is. How do you even have an airship? You know, I don't even care at this point. It's Mechatarks!
Come on, recruits. Let's go home.
Actually, yeah. If there's an airship here, that makes perfect sense if this is Dragonflight, which is funny. That would be awful, Elisar. Why would you do that? Oh my god. Why are you so evil? I mean, that is all Alliance airships seem to do, is exist to be destroyed.
Stormwind City, capital of the Noble Alliance. Though they hail from many different lands, the races of the Alliance convene in Stormwind on matters of trade and diplomacy. Their age-old enemy, the savage horde, poses an ever-present threat.
What?
But no matter the challenge, the soldiers of Stormwind stand ready to face it.
Dude, this is post-HVA. What do you want about?
Human kingdoms. Stormwind upholds an enduring tradition of brave knights and legendary heroes. Azeroth faces countless threats. Bold heroes are needed to rise up and defend her. For the Alliance!
The HVA is back and gone.
We've been through a lot together. We'll meet again.
Welcome to Stormwind. Sure. What do we got? Hey, let's take off this stupid tavern. There we go.
Best of luck to you.
I need to report my mission to King Rin. In the meantime, I asked Lindy to accompany you around the city. There's a lot to see and do, so feel free to explore.
We'll meet again. Feel free to explore the city with Lindy while I report to King Rin. I'll send word once we have our next mission.
The imperialistic alliance threat, which doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I get it. This is originally supposed to lead directly into BFA. So that's a hiccup. That's a very Shadowlands hiccup, actually.
It's good to be back in Stormwind.
Good to see you. Captain Garrick asked me to show you around the city. So excited.
Nothing compares to the power of science.
Stormwind used to... Stormwind has a lot of... Oh my god. Stormwind has a lot to offer adventurers like us, but it's far too big to explore on foot. The captain has arranged for you to receive a mount while you get around. She said to speak with Curly at the stables in the Old Town, but I can't seem to remember the way there. Have no worries. All we need to do is ask a guard for directions. If you need help finding some of the guards, we'll tell you where to go. Okay. Sure.
Let's ask a guard how to get to the stables.
Sure.
What can I do for
How do I get to the stables?
Did you get directions?
My meeting's in like 10 minutes, Shape Armor.
It's good to be back in Stormwind. Old Town, here we come.
I have no idea, Mr. Floyd. I've never even heard of that. Yeah, by the way, yet another reason why Shadowlands sucked
Welcome to Stormwind.
is Stormwind.
I have to say, I miss the hustle and bustle of the city.
Are you gonna keep talking, or can I talk? Like, work with me, man. Another reason that Shadowlands kind of sucked, and this is kind of asterisky. Oh, I know, and I hate that video with a fiery passion.
We're
Let's
headed
just...
to Old Town, which is, well, an older part of town. Stormwind has a lot of history to it.
Anyways. Point I was trying to say is that... Imagine you go through the game, you start a brand new character, you see that intro, and then you're shoved through BFA, whether you want to or not. Probably don't like it, and then immediately are shoved into Shadowlands. Just picture that experience from the perspective of a new player.
We're here.
Like that would be like forcing a new player to go through ARR as their first experience in FF14.
How are you?
So you're the newcomers I've been hearing so much about. Pleasure to meet you. Captain Garrick sent word ahead to prepare for a mount. I think I have the perfect one for you.
See you around.
It's one you already have, so throw it on the ground. Boop.
Nothing compares to the power of science.
Hey, have you decided on a combat specialization yet? Since you're a warrior, you already know about the different classes available to adventurers, but did you know there's also areas of specialization within each class? Choosing a specialization is an important decision. It's functionally a different class. Your specialty determines your combat role, as well as the kind of weapons and abilities you'll use. Alright.
Let's visit a trainer to learn about specializing your skill set.
Yep, put your worst feet forward. I believe that's how that works. Yes, Kane. Thank you.
What do you need?
An excellent choice, indeed.
So, arms are battle-hardened weapon masters who use mobility and overpowering attacks to devastate. Fury are furious berserkers who unleash flurries of attacks. Protection are stalwart protectors who use shields to shield themselves between the enemy and their allies.
Till next time. Goodbye. White Tiger watch over you.
It's good to be back in Stormwind.
I don't know about you, but all this running around has got me thirsty. Why don't we head over to the Pig and Whistle Tavern? Rest our legs over some cool pints of moonberry juice. Ooh. While we're there, speak with Megan, the innkeeper, to make the Pig and Whistle your new home. That way, if you ever find yourself stranded without a flight master, you can return. I'll say it faster than Griffin, but you'll save a few copper in the process.
To the Pig and Whistle. The first round's on me.
Hey, Bladefall, I have some fresh armaments the Admiral thought you might be interested in purchasing. Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
See you
For
later.
the new spec you were supposed to just get, which I admittedly just did. Okay, I kind of like those great swords. Check that out. Again, it's that simple but solid design. In fact, that's not a bad outfit overall, except for the cloak. We are Fury. So for those of you who don't know, the way I would describe it is Arms is about building up to big hits, and Fury is about constantly pushing out damage. It's very granular. Fury, in my opinion...
raided and destroyed most of the city a number of years ago. But as you can see, it's been rebuilt. Good as new.
That's one step away from being misinformation. Or rather, outright lies. That is misinformation. Anyways. You also didn't pay your workers for rebuilding it! Anyways. So Flurry is about constantly pushing out damage on a regular basis, and is probably in a better position overall, because it's just, it feels very, very fun to play. Fury is also two-handers. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Wielding two weapons at once. Now, you can dual-wield two-handers or one-handers, but either way you are dual-wielding, whereas with an Arms Warrior, you've just got one big two-hander. However, as several people have pointed out in chat, Frost Death Knight is what Arms should feel like. Now, I like Arms, especially with the hero talent I can't think of the name of, but Fury is just better.
Oh, I have just the thing, Wanderer.
Hang on. I've got a Stormwind cloak. I just gotta find it. Should be relatively recent, because it'll be circa BFA. I think that's actually it. Oh, here we go. Here's the 7th Legion stuff. I don't know, which one do you think, Bladefall? Left one or right one? You got it.
Beware of Yeti!
That's better.
Hello. Have a good one. How are you? See you later.
As long as the Pig and Whistle Tavern's your home, we'll keep the fire going for you while you're away.
Have a good one.
Heroes of the Alliance.
And?
The Dragon Isles have awakened and beckon the Dragonflights home. Meet me in Stormwind, where I shall present the Aspect's invitation to the Alliance.
And then it jumps us right into Dragonflight, exactly as it should. And for the first time, it makes perfect sense. We just zip right up here, kill a demonic dog, and we're good. God, I can't dismount. There we go. Come here, demonic dog. Come here. Come here. Come here. Die, monster. Die. Oh, crap. I forgot the demonic dog has stats. Die. Die. Okay. We killed the demonic dog. Why would a dog have broken eye protectors? Aww. Proud victory for the Alliance. But then something horrible happened. Bladeval realized that he was facing the most horrible fate that could possibly exist for him. He would have to play WoW. And there was only one thing to do to that. He would rather stop existing than play WoW. So I'm going to scoot you down here. Everyone likes Swift Shot, so we'll be taking Swift Shot into Shadowlands, obviously. You guys also voted for Silver Fur and Never Rip. But these are actually our secondaries, to be honest with you. One last new thing, and then I'll cut off the lunch break. Oh, actually. So, Paladin. What do we got for options here? Oh, those are interesting looking. Ooh, I'm kind of torn. We'll go with that for now. I like how we can just add tons and tons of cracks to our face. Like we've been around for a while. I think we'll make ourselves younger. And our metallic hair, which I love the metallic hair. Oh yeah, look at all those. Oh god, that's such. Oh, I love that hair. I love it. Let's. Oh, I'm torn. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one too. Sorry, it's actually metal hair. Just straight up metal hair. What do you think? That one right there, that's 11. Or 4. What are you thinking? Dwarves look weird without beards. Looks like 4 is winning. So which one was? Oh, we're on 4. Okay. Honestly, I kind of like the one we started on the best. Either that or this one. Is that simple or chevrons? Kind of feeling simple. Yeah, no, I'm kind of feeling that. The mustache helps, right? Because the other one didn't have the mustache. Well, I mean, it did, but it just didn't have as much. Yeah, it needs that upper lip coverage. There we go. I like that. Yeah, you can literally see the cut wires. Oh, that's so cool looking. Eyebrows, yes. Eye color? For the Horde. Or blind. No, we'll go with that. Gem color. Red. But also lots of other cool options here. I like a lot of these, actually. Bring me with red, though. Oh, there's different types of gems. Ooh, oh. We can also do different types of gems per shoulder. Okay, hold up. So let's go with, like, pointy gem on that side, and on this side... I don't know, do we want to be symmetrical or asymmetrical? What are we thinking? Gems everywhere. Gems everywhere. I don't know. So we've got asym, asym, sim, 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 asym. Ah, fine. We'll go with symmetrical. So that would be this one. There. Just for you guys. That's as symmetrical as that's getting. I like it. Horde Runner. The Earthen. Do a couple things super quick here. Actually, I do need that because we're getting Paladin. Don't need that. That's already off. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We should be good.
Before Magni's sacrifice, we Earthen were bound by our innate purpose.
Ignore that.
Stagnant traditions nearly brought us to ruin. We must embrace the call of change. Azeroth is growing, and we need to grow with her.
Yeah, spoilers. We fixed the machine.
To discover who we are.
Also, the similarities between this machine and the Emperor's Will back in Magashan Vaults are not insubstantial. And probably on purpose.
Now processing. Ah, yes, this one. Glad to see this one wasn't lost.
Can you sense it, Foreman? They awaken stronger than others.
They are a player character. That's a good question. Earth.
Welcome, my friend.
As you right, Surge. Interesting. It's good to see you're awake. I know you have so many questions, and we're here to answer them. I am Dawn, and this is Foreman Ujax. Many things have changed since your slumber began. How long is this before we get to the game proper?
Come back with new experience.
I sort of expected this to be really short, because it's an allied race. That's pushing it. So we'll go and do this after the break, then. But we exist! We are the Horde Runner. I really like that beard. That looks solid. I love the metallic look. I love the gemstones. It's probably the first. This is probably the closest I've ever had to playing an Iron Dwarf, which is something I've wanted since Wrath. But for now, I'm going to chop off. Go have a meeting. To decide if I'm going to change outfit for the meeting. And we'll see you after the break.